Paper Mario's existence was something you couldn't escape from, kind of like a cult. I grew up like any average Gen Z, Nutella sandwiches, Minecraft, and if you're cultured, Mario Kart Wii. But one huge influence on my younger life was YouTube, and the creators on there. We all know how that turned out. People like Peanut Butter Gaming, Red Jacksepticeye, and the countless people talking about how Paper Mario used to be good, and how it sucks now. It was basically drilled into my mind what opinions I was supposed to have on these games, like TTYD, best game of the century, bro, oh so good! And I kinda let that lead my thoughts on all these games as I grew up, even though I've only played a few of them. The OG, good but simple. TTYD, God sent to the GameCube. Super, I was biased because of Chugga Connor's playthrough, alright, give me a break. Sticker Star, Satan sent to the 3DS. Color Splash and Origami King didn't exist yet, so I had to form my own opinion? What the hell, guys? But I'm tired of that. It's time to form my own opinion on these games. It's time I look at them on their own, unbiased from all these people. So let's take a look at the entire Paper Mario franchise, because my idea to make a video on the LEGO Movie game for the Nintendo 3DS wasn't good enough, apparently. Now I'm going to try and move past some games quickly so I can focus on the games I actually want to talk about, and if anything sums up that sentence as a game more, it's the original Paper Mario. It's really great, it's awesome, it's Paper Mario. A fun start to the series, Mario gets ready to meet with the princess, but turns out
it's from Bowser!
Imagine being a child and seeing Bowser defeat Mario. What a rare occurrence that must have been. You kidnap children, have fun battles, meet up with the police. The story was still Bowser kidnapped Peach, but that was excusable for a couple of reasons. First of all, it was the first game in the series, and it was still experimenting, so, we could let it slide. Second of all, Bowser was like a new villain here. So much personality in that shell. Third of all, Bowser's a god, he has wish-remaining powers, he can summon gods, create armies, we're dead, we're gone, or we're dead. I don't know, it's Paper Mario. I'm having trouble getting my thoughts out in this game because I love it, but at the same time, it just kinda exists. So let's move on to something I've been waiting to talk about for a long time. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. As I said, this game was shoved down my throat growing up. All the amazing characters, the gameplay mechanics, it's so amazing! Sure, the game wasn't perfect, but if everyone was calling it the greatest game of all time, it has to be true. There was so much build up to this game for me, but when I got it, no, I didn't buy it, I emulated it. Nintendo, if you want my money, port it to the Switch. I'm not spending $10,000 on a GameCube game. I told myself not to overhype it. It's a GameCube game, everyone said it's amazing, I'll play it and see what I think. But everything people said about it, the praises the game got, it all led to this moment. I played it, and I don't know what I expected. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is absolutely, incredibly okay. Finding out that TTYD was just okay in my eyes kind of recontextualized the whole situation. I always thought Nintendo has to go back to the old ways. These new games suck my balls. But now that I thought the big one was just alright, it made me reflect on what I actually thought of this franchise. But okay, let's step back a bit and talk about why I think TTYD is just okay. Please don't kill me. I'll start with the obvious stuff everyone talks about. The backtracking, Jesus Christ. Everyone said, oh, there's just a little bit every now and then, but it's not too bad. No! It's constant. And in every single chapter. In chapter 4, you got this little town, and here's pretty neat. You got a long, boring walk through this forest. You get to the steeple. Really awesome. Cool. They make you walk between these two 5 times. 5 times just walking through a boring forest where nothing different happens. Oh, I better go back to the town. Okay, I'll help you. Here, let's go back to the steeple and see what we can find. Oh. Oh. Great! Now that we've got the P, we can confront Dupless at the town. Oh, come on! Great job! We finally guessed his name. Now we can finish this off at the top of the steeple, once and for all. Fuck this! This would be the part where I complain about General White, right? No. I stopped playing at the end of chapter 6. I looked back at this painfully boring chapter, and looked at what's ahead and said, no, I'm done. But Grubs, you gotta see the end of the story you're so invested in. No. This is definitely a me thing, and you could disagree with me all the way, but I just did not care about the story or characters. It's not bad by any means, it's interesting for a Mario game, but it just wasn't anything for me to hoot and holler about. For me, a game like this kinda hinges on if the villain is good or not. When your options are boring generic McGee, Worst Dimentio. If you think about their place in the story, Dimentio and Beldam play the same role, just one does it very much better than the other. And another painfully generic demon, I do not care at all. Oh god, have I really been trash talking the 1,000-Year Door? I'm gonna get crucified! While TTYD isn't a game I love, or maybe even like for that matter, it is definitely a game I can respect. I can see all the care that was put into its characters, its story, and oh my god, the battle system! It's so addicting. You're on the stage and you get enough info for a lawsuit. The partners who barely do anything in the story but are fun in battles. All the items you can use to strategize, the badges, the stars, the gambling. It's okay, I guess. Yeah, it's alright. Oh hey, I'm just burning my chance of any of you paying attention to my opinion anymore. Super Paper Mario is my favorite game in the franchise. Boo! It's gotta be a good point. You suck. The game's not even that good. Boo, get off the stage. I deserve this. Super Paper Mario. Everyone's favorite game to look at, reflect on, throw down the stairs. I know. This game is easily the most divisive game in the franchise. People usually see it as amazing or abysmal with literally everything in between. Guess which camp I'm in? And let me be clear. I am very aware this is probably nostalgia clouding my vision. But I can't help it, alright? But just to make my point still be validated in some of your eyes, I'll indulge in some of the game's problems. Everything. This game, instead of being an RPG, is a 2D platformer, and one that won the Nobel Prize for, I guess it technically is a 2D platformer. Kind of relied on having the 2D platforming be good. It was very clunky, the movement didn't feel very good, and that's just like on movement basics. We're not even talking about the levels themselves. I don't remember having to know my mom's credit card in Kirby. For some reason, this game wants to test you on your brain power constantly, like in Merle's Mansion. But the worst offender is this stupid block puzzle in Chapter 5. Why does this exist? So I'm editing the video right now, and I've rediscovered that you have to type please 5 times before they give you the information. Why? What is the point? This is my favorite game in the franchise. I don't know what made them think that boring memorization puzzles was good to put into a 2D platformer. On top of that, the menus are just annoying, they're hard to get through, and you will be using them constantly. So how can a game that has terrible controls possibly be considered decent? Just be amazing at everything else, Fivehead. Yeah, the story is the thing that everyone says is the only redeeming factor for this game, and yeah, it's pretty great. Long ago, a prince of a kingdom met a woman from an opposite tribe. They fell in love quickly, but it was forbidden by the prince's father. Once he found out, he erased the memory of and banished the woman to another dimension, convincing his son she was lost forever. The prince, out of anger, found the Dark Prognosticus, an ancient book of legend, and used it to destroy his homeworld and wouldn't stop until every world held the same fate. Wahoo! Wow, I can't believe Nintendo remade Romeo and Juliet with Luigi. My pleas have finally been answered. But what's a story without characters and oh my god. Tippy, who is the first and easily the almost best out of the You Only Get One partner this time quadrilogy. You learn later that she was the woman who got banished and got turned into a butterfly by this dweeb. She's an alright character for the first half, but develops a lot more throughout the story. But that's kinda it really. Besides your core 4 met before the Adventure Star... You don't really meet that many memorable characters on your side. That's where the villains come in, and they are all amazing. Oh Chunks, the generic but lovable meathead. Mimi, the conniving trickster who... Nastasia, the assistant who gets Joan of Arc over and over again. Who is this? Greed.
Stripes, jet boots? Oh my god!
And Count Bleck, the main antagonist. This was the Lost Prince from many years ago, giving up on finding Tippy, or Timpani her real name. Destroying every world as he views them all meaningless without his love. But throughout the game, as Tippy follows Mario, you see hope return to him, until it is swallowed by doubt. You clearly see he doesn't want to do this, but feels it's his destiny. The prince he once was is gone forever, replaced by Count Bleck. At the end, he is at his lowest, but with the support of his minions and Tippy, finally close the void forever. D2D had decent characters, but for me, Super's quality over quantity will always stand higher, especially when it comes to this game's amazing cast of villains. Did you honestly think I would forget? Dimentio is my favorite video game character of all time. I know, bold words, but how can this be true? Well, first I want to talk about how I saw him as a kid. Yes, Dimentio will be the topic of this video for the next couple of minutes. Deal with it. Super Paper Mario was in my life when I didn't really care about character motivation or dialogue or any of the important stuff. So when I found out that this clown guy betrayed the main guy, I was like, yo, my god, but But he wasn't the main villain. Why is he? That's so cool. And that's all I could take from that. It was enough for him to be loved by me. But now that I'm older, god damn it. As a kid, we rooted for Batman, but as an adult, we understood the Joker. Some bullshit. I don't know. Actually, reading his dialogue, he's amazing. I swear, I've seen people say that, oh, Diorite just betrayed Count Black out of nowhere, just to have a twist villain. No, they built it up throughout the entire game through his conversations with you, himself, and even at Count Black's face. Plus, it always seemed he was more organized than Count Black, as if he's been planning this forever. He's so conniving and twisted, but at points in the game, he has you convinced that he's fighting to stop Count Black and needs your help. Just give him the 8 pure hearts and the 3 wacky numbers on the back. But in reality, he just needs you to collect the pure hearts to waste them on Black so he can use the power of the Chaos Heart to make Vine compilations. Not only is he a mental threat, but a physical one as well. Dimencio, if he wanted to, could easily kill everyone. Mario, Luigi, it doesn't matter. He just keeps you around for a while because you're useful to him. What, you don't believe me? He literally does, multiple times. Dimencio, in this Mario game, randomly shows up to your crib, says hello, and sends you all to hell. I am not joking. And I've heard some people say, oh, he's not killing you here, he's just teleporting you to hell. Yeah, okay. This wasn't done just for Dimencio to flex on us, but to reunite with Luigi, who he also killed earlier, but no big deal, whatever. He then proceeds to use Luigi to create a giant Luiginoid monster. How could you not love this character? I could go on and on about Dimencio, and this is probably a super unorganized section, but I love this character to death. Sure, I wish he was on screen more, and also should be in Smash. The spirit isn't good enough for my boy, but come on. He's Dimencio. Alright, that's all I wanted to say about Super Papa's Fritos. What game is that? Oh no. So, this Paper Mario game. I will start by swallowing my pride for a second. And say that if you like this game and think it's great, that is completely fine. Don't think me talking about this game says I absolutely hate it, it's just something I'm really interested in. Now with that being said, this game is a with a along with multiple I don't like this game that much. I know this isn't exactly a unique opinion, and the purpose of this video was to form my own opinion, but this game is a mess. And I'm not talking story or whatever, I could give a shit about that. I'm talking about basic game design. How battling literally accomplishes nothing. Let's go through this, shall we? This game offers a limited supply battle system. When you use a sticker, it's gone forever. So you're not going to want to waste them, of course, unless you're motivated to. So in battles, when you're using your valuable stickers on enemies, you're expected to get something out of it. What do you get? Coins. What can you buy with coins? Stickers, and only stickers. So you use stickers to earn coins that you can only use on stickers. What is the point? Just don't fight the enemies, you know? Half the game. Oh, it doesn't end there. People say this game has good level design. Did I have a stroke? What part of you need a very missable thing to go in this specific place in order to progress equal good to you? And the levels themselves just didn't do anything for me. My favorite level in the game is this Boo level. It's like Luigi's Mansion. But finding most of these ghosts could be really annoying. The level just kind of drags on with a really easy boss at the end. Yes, I did say this was my favorite level in the game. And don't get me started on the bosses. In order to win against them, you need a very specific thing. Wait, something's wrong. The timeline is splitting. What if I didn't do that? For those who hated this game and say it's not that fun, I implore you to fight the bosses without the things. Basically, to win every boss has a specific item you need to hinder it so it's possible, and also it doesn't make it clear what item you need, but whatever's beside the point. But every boss is technically beatable without this thing, and fighting the bosses without them is unironically the most fun I've had in this entire franchise. You gotta strategize what stickers you take, plan the whole fight out move by move, and just make it by the skin of your teeth. It's amazing. With Mr. Blizzard, you could just use Fire Flowers, and by PD Piranha, you could just use Infinite Jumps. Also, the Goomba fight is pretty simple. But the Tower Power Pokey and the Gooper Blooper, my god. Having to perfectly block the Pokey's attacks just to have a sliver of health slowly taking its segments out and strategizing when to use the helmet makes this fight so much fun. And with Gooper Blooper, having to hope that the POW block will stun it before its big attack. Sure, it relies on RNG, but god do I feel alive. This is easily the most fun I've had of this game, and the best part is, after you win without using the thing, the second and the worst of the you only get one partner this time around quadrilogy, Kirsty, downplays your win, saying you should have just used the thing. So not only do I get to have a fun boss for once, but I get to make the game mad at me? It's a dream come true. That's kind of it for Sticker Star. It exists, and while I think it's not terrible, it just had some really bad design choices. Hey Grubs, do you have any dignity or self-worth? Yeah, I don't own a Wii U, why do you ask? Yeah, I never played Color Splash. If I had the opportunity to, I would, Nintendo. But I'm not about to judge a game I haven't played yet, so I'll be fair and leave it at that, so I could have more time to talk about... I know, this game is easily the most divisive game in the franchise. People usually see it as amazing or abysmal, with literally everything in between. Guess which camp I'm in? Wait. Paper Mario the Origami King is the latest and goodest Paper Mario game, and I have very conflicting thoughts on it. This was easily the hardest game to get my thoughts down, and I have a lot to cover, so I'll start with the good stuff. First off, we actually have some interesting characters again. I've heard some mixed things about Olivia, and honestly, I think she's great. Easily the best out of the You Only Get One Partner This Time quadrilogy. She's funny but not too annoying, cute but not too annoying, helpful but not too annoying. You see where I'm going with this? There's also King Ollie, the main antagonist, but I'm going to talk about him a bit later. Another interesting character is Bobby the Bob-omb. A little Bob with amnesia, finally, literally anything. He's not a great character, but you know, I thought it was... Bobby, what are you doing? No, oh, you did it. Because of something that King Ollie did, Bobby has to sacrifice himself for the team, and this was something I love about the game. It wasn't afraid to get dark at times, as well as having the characters react to it reasonably. Olivia is genuinely upset about it, and it's nice that these characters are somewhat grounded. It helps me get more immersed in this world. Speaking of immersion, this game does a great job with that as well. You start in Toad Town with an invite to join Peach at a party, but things go wrong and the castle floats high in the sky. I do wonder where they got that idea. But right away, you're shown the threat and shown this game must be a bit darker. Good job, Nintendo. I'm also coming back to immersion later, so hold on a bit. Also, this is a very obvious one, but god, the game is beautiful. From character models to the landscapes, this game is just stunning. Okay, is that it? Yep, that's it. Alright, here we go. Set up your lawn chairs, boys. I got some things to say. I honestly think I might be the only person to have this problem because I've seen literally nobody else talk about it. So they decided to have larger areas in this game to explore. So instead of making more areas to give you a complete adventure, they just make you do a million wild goose chases in the small areas to artificially drag out the playtime. In the first area, there's this tower you gotta get to, but you need the turtle to get it. But in order to get into where the turtle is, you need the 5 balls to get in there. Stop. There's also these 4 towers to turn on to get into this big area. A lot of pointless side stuff to make it seem like the game is a lot longer than it actually is. One part in this stupid Shy Guy town really made me want to die. There's this quiz guy who's holding the Ouija captive or something, I don't know. So to get him back, you gotta answer some riddles. But the first time you play is literally impossible to win. So Olivia's like, wow, this guy sucks. Then you play again and are allowed to win. What the fuck? What was the point of making you play it twice? It wasn't funny, it wasn't creative or anything, it was just annoying, it's just there to waste your time. In the 5th area, you need to go to like 50 Springs to get Bowser Jr. back to fight this guy in the sky for some reason, to go into this castle, even though realistically you could just run underneath the flying football players on clouds, but this game doesn't want to be realistic, I guess. But the biggest offender of this is Chapter 2. You need to get a boat downstream to go to the next ribbon. Okay, cool, no water. Go get the water guy. Yeah, it's not so bad. Bobby falls down a cliff on the way there. Go get him. Alright, cool. Once you got the water guy, you can fill the water, but you still need someone to drive the boat, apparently. So you gotta chase this monkey toad, and once you get him, he's like, man, I wish I had some tuna. What? So now you gotta look around to find some tuna until you find these guys, and they say that you need to find everyone before they open the tuna. So you have to go in this field and find everyone there, and then finally you can open the tuna after a fake out. Then you could go on the boat. Oh my god! That was all the small area. Did they really need to pad out the time that hard? And don't get me started on Shogun Studios. I'm moving on. So this game is bosses, and I don't even know where to start. First of all, if you couldn't tell, the series is slowly but surely taking the Paper Mario name literally. Starting in Sticker Star with the things I mentioned earlier, just real life objects, awesome. Nobody liked them, and they come back in Color Splash, hell yeah. There's this fan that they keep bringing back, they think it's a running joke. Nobody likes a fan, stop bringing it back, it's not funny, no one likes it. But they didn't come back in Origami King though. They're the bosses now. And the main problem I have with this isn't that they exist, but what it ruined. The story is somewhat dark. Characters have arcs, and there's even like hints of like tradition with the elementals. It's at least hinted at. You're supposed to be immersed in this giant world, and it works really well, honestly. Until you get to the top of a tower and see a pack of colored pencils. And I know it kinda makes sense, like they're the stuff that would make origami, but come on, this is stupid. Everything about this is stupid. I'm finding a hole puncher. But hey, maybe the bosses are at least fun to fight. Instead of the ring system for the rest of the battle, which I'm not talking about, you know what sucks. I don't want this video to be a year long and only about Origami King. Now the boss is in the middle, and you gotta follow these stupid arrows to get to it. But you have to do a very specific thing that's not hinted at all, and if you don't, either you do no damage or take damage yourself. If I'm being honest, it's a really cool idea. The bosses could do really cool stuff to the ring and affect the gameplay. At least the bosses are like somewhat playable and they're little gimmicks. Most of them just kind of put you on a different area and the hole puncher just creates holes in the ground. Wow, awesome. But the Valimentals, Jesus. These guys are like the mini bosses, I guess, and they are all horrible. But the peak of objectively bad game design is the Fire Valimentals. Suck my ass. So the game gives you no hints on how to beat this guy, so you gotta experiment. But everything you do wrong does damage to you. And you could imagine the look on my face when I, like a complete idiot, used the 1000-fold arms one turn too early. And even though it usually kills here, it restores to full health. Nintendo made this game. The only good boss in the game is Tape by far, like it's not even close. Not only by gameplay, but by character design as well. You have to attack it from all sides, so the ring actually has a purpose here. There isn't any stupid gimmick until the second phase where Tape can stick two lanes together, making you have to strategize which ones you want to spin. Hey, and he's like a New Yorker, and he talks like this. That was terrible, Jesus Christ. And this extra tape represents the slick back hair they have, and the dispenser is like a car. Like, this is the only boss they didn't design without being blackout drunk. Now, you might ask what I thought about the music for these fights, and honestly, at first, they didn't really do anything for me. I just thought they were good, but, you know, just that. They didn't really feel like Paper Mario songs, and they kind of blended together, especially rubber bands and colored pencils. Nothing to freak out about. And then I realized I'm a fucking idiot. Wow. I still don't really think this fits Paper Mario, but god, the music is so good in this game. And the bosses are no exception. I think I've covered everything. Oh yeah, Ollie. This is a great villain. Seriously. He has a decent character design, great dialogue. He shows up often in the story, and when he does, he makes a big impact. He's a constant threat, always looming over your head. He's a great villain, and a breath of fresh air for this franchise. How did they fuck it up? I used to believe that a villain was only good if they had a motivation of some kind. People like Bowser, where they just kidnap people and it doesn't really matter. But if a villain didn't have a motivation, then who cares? Now I would rather them not have one than have a bad one. King Ollie's reason for mass genocide, treason, and countless other things is literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It's because my creator drew on me when I was made. That's it. The person who folded him drew on him once. Are you kidding? And it gets even worse. He didn't even read it. After you beat him, he's like, oh, read me the message. And it says some bullshit about being a good king or whatever. It's like, oh, what did I do? What have I done? What? You killed countless people. Started an empire bent on fear. You know this stuff takes like effort and drive. And not only is your whole reason for doing it someone drew on me, but you didn't even read what they drew? That's like if Hitler in 3rd grade had one of his classmates draw on his arm using a green marker and he's like immediately, I know what I have to do. And then he gives up within seconds and is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Shut up. Everyone forgives him. This is not how you redeem a character. And then your partner character dies again at the end of the game. Are you Origami King? Is a game I'm confused about. It has some very good things and some very, very bad things. It tries to take it so seriously sometimes, but then it's like, what are you doing? This is a Mario game. Stop taking it so seriously, you loner. I don't even know what to say about it. It was good. I liked it a lot, but I probably won't play it again. Oh, that was it. The entire Paper Mario franchise. I guess I could do Paper No, I don't think I will. So Paper Mario is still a franchise that interests me a lot, as well as a lot of other people. All over the internet, you hear people saying old Paper Mario is better, no, new Paper Mario is better, and I think all opinions are justified. If you think TT1D is the best game of all time, then that's great. If you think that Huey, the third and third worst of the you only get one partner this time called trilogy, is an amazing character, then good on you. Even if you think that Sticker Star is the best game of all time, I can honestly see why. I've even heard people say that Sticker Star is better than Super, and I mean, I'd listen to them. I feel like the series was always great, but just in different places. If you took the original's battle system, Dazzling Door's writing, Super's story writing, Sticker Star's, Color Splash's art style, and Origami King's world building, you would have an incredible game. Easily the best Paper Mario. But as of now, all these games have those things just in different places. Don't get me wrong, I still think all the games are fun, and of course I like some more than others. Here's my ranking if you want that, enjoy losers. And even though I said they're all good games, I will continue to make fun of Sticker Star in my videos because I think it's funny.